Tell me about how your magic system interacts with the economy. My name is Gina. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. That was probably annoying. I'm really sorry that I did that way, but it was dropped into my comment section in all caps, so I feel like I was doing the commenter justice. The underlying concept here is that your magic system has to interact with the economy and with the world that you have set up. This is a thing that I unfortunately have to point out a lot when I am editing science fiction and fantasy is like we get to page, I don't know, 150, and then they will just like snap their fingers and do something really super easy and awesome with magic, and it's like, oh, if magic was that easy, then why are there any problems in your world? If they can just make food appear, then there should be no poverty in your world. If they can just make all of the household chores go away, then why is anybody doing work if they can just snap their fingers? None of this makes any sense if it's that easy. Brandon Sanderson has a whole bunch of like laws for creating magic systems, and this is one of the things that he talks about, that magic has to have a price to it, that there has to be something that is extracted when you do magic. Otherwise, none of the rest of the world makes any sense. People would just be laying on a beach, making love and making art and snapping their fingers to make all of the drudgery of life go away. So then there's no conflict in your world if nobody has any problems ever. Related to this, if you are writing second world fantasy, you need to have an idea of how like the real world economy works. If your kingdom lives in a very, very snowy place where there is never any sunshine, how did they get all the oranges? Why do they have so much fresh produce if they never see sunshine and there's never any greenery? Where does this come from? And I'm not saying that you can't have those things, because you could have an extensive trade network, but you as the author need to know that, and there needs to be like subtle nods to it that to say like, oh yeah, well only the king has produce because it is expensive and it costs many slave labor lives in order to get this produce here, and everybody else is just eating like pickled cucumbers all year long. I am not a prescriptivist when it comes to these magic systems. I do not need you to tell me every single step of how it works and what the physiology of it is and what it feels like and all of those things, but there are people who are that way, and at the base of it, your story has to make sense, which means that you are going to have to think about how magic impacts your economy. If you can just snap your fingers and make light appear, and like 50% of your population can do this, why would they have ever invented candles? And if they never invented candles, why would they ever have invented guns? If there was never a reason to harness flame because you can just make it flick like that and there's light and heat and it's easy to control, there's a whole lot of things in this world that wouldn't have been invented and wouldn't exist.